Good morning to all of you, dear viewers. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Babu Sankara. This time, we are going to discuss a case law, particularly a murder, in which the accused, four accused, who were given death sentence, were acquitted by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, holding that the trial court and also the High Court of Uttar Pradesh, they have given the judgment on conjectures and surmises. There should be concrete proof. The prosecution should prove the case beyond all reasonable doubt. But this case comes under the category of neither wholly reliable nor wholly unreliable. I repeat, neither wholly reliable, neither wholly unreliable. Therefore, definitely, whenever any benefit of doubt, it should go to the accused. This was given to the accused, and all of them now stand acquitted from the death sentence. So, very great and bold, good judgment. So, you have to read it. Right? While disposing the case of Jaikam Khan, Jaikam, Jaikam Khan versus State of Uttar Pradesh. You can see the citation in Live Law 2021 SC 741. Right? While disposing the criminal appeal numbers 434, 435 and 436 of 2020. Yes, 2020 on just yesterday, 15/12/2021. Three judges bench. Honorable Justice Lav Nageshwara Garu, Madam B.V. Nagaratna and M.R. Gawai, B.R. Gawai. So they observed that the trial court and the high court observations are nothing but conjectures and summary, conjectures. So without any evidentiary support to that fact, right? So actually in such cases, the ADJ, that is the trial court, could have dealt with this point, these points at the outset itself before awarding the death sentence, thinking that he is one of the rarest of rare cases, but he acted in a casual manner. This is observation by the Supreme Court. Right? So now we will go into the details of the case. That is better. So this happened in Narora of Bulandshahr district in Uttar Pradesh state in the year 2014, I believe. Yes. Actually, this is a family dispute regarding properties. That too a brick kiln. Family, Muslim family. So actually, here the appellants are three persons. One is Momin Khan, A1. Second is Jaikam Khan, A3, and Sajid, A4. And actually there is another accused by name Narja, and she was acquitted by the trial court itself. Therefore, she did not appeal. Deceased persons, there are five in number. Who is deceased? Number one is the father of the so-called Momin Khan. So this is regarding the family dispute. Father's name is Mausam Khan. Mausam Khan. He has got a big family. Actually, he is, and another son by name is PW1, Sher Khan. Both of them are good terms, but he has got disputes with the other sons. So he has divided the property, gave them the shares. Only thing is, actually, this A1, Moin Khan, was operating the brick kiln previously. Since the disputes arose, Mausam Khan asked him to go away. This has ignited the trouble, because he used to get good money in the so-called bricks business. So ultimately, these brothers and wife Narza, these four persons, on 23/1/2014 at about 8:30 p.m. attacked the deceased, his wife, and three others with knives and other deadly weapons and caused their death instantaneously on the spot. Incidentally, PW1, Shaukat Khan, he was present, and his brother, some Sohail Khan also. Both of them were present. Somehow they managed to escape. Immediately they went to the nearby police station, Narora PS in Bulandar Shahar district, and they reported the matter. And a case in crime number under sections 302, read with 34 and 25 of the Indian Arms Act was also registered against all the accused. All of them were charge sheeted, and ultimately the trial court, thinking it to be of one of the rarest of rare cases, gave death sentence to all the three accused and left the wife of A1, Narja. She was, because no evidence against her, she was acquitted right on the trial stage itself. So the accused, actually, before you may be knowing, under section 366 CRPC, the trial court should get confirmation from the High Court regarding the death sentence. Okay, using the powers under section 360 CRPC, High Court also confirmed that death sentence was accused, and ultimately they approached the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Now, this is important. We have to observe the notings of the Supreme Court. Here in this case, 3 points. No doubt the accused would have been immediately arrested. No doubt the weapons would have been recovered. No doubt the bloodstained cloth would have been recovered. But all of them are under section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act. So section 27 of the Evidence Act, to what extent the admissibility only to the point of recovery, that's all, not to the regarding the confession. Only to the point of recovery, that's all. That is admissible, not the confession. But the trial court has taken the confession into consideration, of course, supported by PW1, his brother and others. So they gave conviction. But here the Supreme Court says, it is difficult to say whether PW1, Shaukat Khan and his brother Sohail Khan and others have actually witnessed the attack on the other 4 also. Now, if they have seen one person, that is Mohsen Khan, it's okay. But it is highly unbelievable that they saw the attack, they witnessed the attack on the 4 other deceased also. At the same time, it is not wholly unreliable, unbelievable. They might have seen, is it not? When the incident took place in the same place, they might have seen also. So therefore, this case fell under the category of neither wholly reliable nor wholly unreliable. So in this case, degree of care should be taken in dealing with such cases. So that there should be reliable testimony. The section 27A should be pakka, and the recovery of weapons should be immediate. So since there are lapses in all these things, since this case fails under this neither wholly reliable nor unwholly reliable, so the Honorable Supreme Court acquitted all the 3 accused. So very good case. Normally we'll be under the impression that moral justice was done to them, and actually since 5 persons died and 4 persons convicted, it's okay. But Supreme Court, in its wisdom, they have clearly analyzed this subject, and of course that's why any iota of doubt should not be there against the accused. If at all any doubt is there, the benefit should go the accused. That is what happened in this case. So finally, to conclude, friends, I want to tell you, this is a very good case which falls under the category of neither wholly unreliable nor wholly reliable. So when there is a dilemma, even to the Supreme Court, therefore the accused got acquitted. Very good judgment. Please read it. Particularly the advocates who are dealing with the murder cases, definitely you should read the judgment, and you will enhance your legal knowledge in this particular topic. Because very recently we are all seeing conviction cases only, convicted. Here is a case where the Supreme Court acquitted. So such type of judgments are necessary for flourishing in your legal profession. So please read it and enrich your legal knowledge. Thank you very much.